Well, I'm back. If you remember last month, Fantastic Four issue 1, the facsimile edition came out. And like I said, they're going to do every issue 1 through 12 for this entire year. So I think I'll go ahead and look at every issue this year. Here's issue 2. Look at that bright yellow color. Pretty cool, right? They had taken a deadly oath to destroy the Fantastic Four. They were merciless. They were inhuman. They had powers far greater than Earthmen. They were Skrulls from outer space. So this came out September 28th, 1961. That would have been 1 week after my dad's 11th birthday. An insect collecting kit. Do you think any kids in 2025 are collecting insects? Amazing wrist radio. I love these old ads. All right, so here we go. The Fantastic Four meet the Skrulls from outer space. So we have the Thing swimming up to this offshore platform of sorts. Doesn't this remind you of the, what was it called? The tactical battle platform or something from G.I. Joe? I had that. I love that thing. Oh man, the Thing is tearing out the supports. He actually destroyed it, and everyone on board had to get to the lifeboats for safety. Look, the Thing is swimming away. How does a giant rock swim? Oh, maybe the Thing is made out of lava rock, like pumice where he floats. Wouldn't that be interesting? And here we have Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, visiting a jewelry shop, and they bring out a $10 million diamond on a pillow to show her, size of a baseball. And she steals it. What's going on here? They're not going to be able to catch her now. Okay, the unveiling of a solid marble statue that took 5 years to carve, and the Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, melts it? How do you melt marble? I know what happened here. See, Jack Kirby drew this story. Stan Lee comes in and he has to fit in dialogue and come up with what he thinks is happening here. And for whatever reason, Stan thought this statue must be made out of marble. Why, Stan? It's clearly a bronze or a steel or something statue. If it's, jeez. But more importantly, why did Johnny Storm destroy this thing? All right, here we go. The arm of Mr. Fantastic shutting off all power to the city. Okay. Why are our heroes doing all these evil deeds? Let's get to the bottom of this. We have done our work well. We have succeeded. Yes, by now the entire nation is hunting the Fantastic Four. The order is out. Shoot on sight. There will be no place to hide. I've been wondering, how'd y'all accomplish your feats? Okay, here's the explanation. So the fake Thing used an electronic detonator. The fake Invisible Woman didn't turn invisible. She shrunk. That's like Ant-Man. Fake Human Torch has anti-gravity gear and a low-velocity thermal bomb. I don't think that's enough of an explanation. And fake Reed Richards didn't need any tricks because he's part of this alien race, as are they all, called Skrulls, where they can change their appearance. And I guess that makes them malleable and stretchy like Mr. Fantastic. Well, he's not very fantastic, is he? And they have a mothership hovering in the atmosphere. And here we go, miles away in an isolated hunting lodge is the real Fantastic Four, with their flannel and their rifles and the pipe, and the Thing being in disguise amongst his own friends. He starts flipping out. Why is the world after us? Why aren't you guys taking this serious? Take it easy, Thing. Oh boy, they don't even call him Ben anymore. What an insult. Reed, how much more of this can we take? Sooner or later, the Thing will run amok. He's been your friend for years. His name is Ben. Oh, I feel bad now. It was my fault that our flight to Mars failed and we nearly lost our lives. Flight to Mars. That's interesting. So a couple things about this comic. This, of course, is the first appearance of the Skrulls, which, as you can see in the comics, they're bad guys. I don't know why in the MCU they've made them good guys. I'm totally confused by that. And in issue 1, they were just trying to beat the Russians to space in the space race. Issue 2, they say they were trying to get to Mars. In issue 236, they change it to that they were trying to get to the edge of the solar system. And in issue 358, they change it again to trying to get to other solar systems. It's because they got to keep updating the origin to keep with the times. I love this. So Reed is talking to all of them about their own powers, which of course they already know. And then he says, I can't punish the thing when the fault is mine. And Johnny goes, okay, forget him. What do we do now? Well, he's standing right there, watching them talk about him as if he's nowhere around. Part 2, Prisoner of the Skrulls. Oh man, the military's hunting them down. Attention, Fantastic Four, we have you surrounded. Come out with your hands up or we'll fire. And they come out peacefully. Okay, so turning invisible doesn't get her out of the cell. Johnny is in a special asbestos room, so his flames can't do any damage. But he can rip up the floor. Look, they're trying to escape. Found an air vent. Okay, the Thing's cell is made out of thick battleship steel. He busts through anyways. So what's Reed gonna do? So his sensitive fingers probe every inch of the floor and wall. Oh, okay, here you go. Instead of sliding the food tray through a little slot, they open up like double doors so the invisible woman just walks right past. Boy, I had trouble getting that sentence out. Johnny melts right through the air vent. It's clobbering time. And Reed found a loose rivet. And there we go. They steal a chopper and take off. This is pretty exciting. Not long afterwards, at one of the Fantastic Four's many secret apartment hideouts. It's an interesting little bit of trivia. Okay, they're gonna go after the imposters themselves. Ooh, you want to buy an accordion? Or collect the reward for this expensive coin? So the Thing and Johnny are constantly bickering and fighting with each other. I think this is the famous Marvel twist that DC Comics wasn't doing. Now, I showed in another video when I read that Flash comic from 1959 that my dad had, issue 30, I believe, second appearance of Mirror Master, that Barry Allen had the same types of, troubles with money and girls and what have you that Peter Parker did. And I said something about how I thought it's come down through history that DC heroes didn't have any problems, only Marvel heroes did. I think maybe they just mean that they all got along. The Justice League didn't fight with each other. I don't know, that's not really much of a difference though. I mean, so in just the one team book they didn't bicker? I'd like to read some old Justice League and see if actually everybody got along at all times and never had a disagreement with anyone ever. Because I'm not really seeing a big difference here between DC and Marvel. Okay, so Johnny wants to attack the rocket and he thinks that'll bring out the imposters. Interesting plan. Who's gonna pay for that? It's probably $1 billion of destruction you're causing, kid. Oh, I see, but the plan worked. The imposters said, hey, come on, get back in the car. They think he's one of the Skrulls. What a stroke of luck that the imposter Johnny wasn't in the car and maybe Reed or Sue was out. I don't see the Thing either, so maybe the Thing could have... Okay, keep reading. Oh, they caught on. They know who he is. He has to send out the flare for his buddies. The rest of the Fantastic Four. I'm sure you've noticed so far that the Fantastic Four do not have costumes. They just wear regular clothes. Costumes are to come later. Okay, so while he waits, he's going to take him out with his flame powers, but the fourth Skrull comes back, and it's torch against torch. Oh man, and they defeat Johnny. But Ben to the rescue. I'm sorry, the Thing to the rescue. Sell Grit. I want to get a copy of Grit and see what it's all about. It's America's greatest family newspaper. Grit. Which would you rather do in your spare time? Sell Grit or sell shoes? What a choice. Oh, it's on now. The Fantastic Four fight back. Check out that panel. Very cool. So that's it. They take out the Skrulls. Oh, and they got to hold the Thing back because he's going to myrtleize all of them. So they revealed their plan. They were coming to invade the Earth, but they'd heard about the Fantastic Four and their amazing powers. So they had to get the Earthlings to take out the Fantastic Four and clear the path for the Skrulls to have a nice, easy invasion. So here we see what it's like in the Marvel Universe when the very first superpowered beings come into existence. Right there, you can see no one else on the planet has superpowers. Okay, but here's the trouble. There's an entire fleet of Skrulls on the way, so they have to stop them. So Reed says, well, let's pose as them. Okay, so they take the Skrulls' hidden rocket ship, disguised as this water tower, back up to the mothership. You can't take out the Earthlings. The Fantastic Four can't be defeated. Check out these photos of these giant monsters. I pray he doesn't suspect that they're actually clipped from Strange Tales and Journey into Mystery. The monster books from Marvel. Look, they're already going meta in issue 2. The Marvel Comics exist in the universe of Marvel Comics. I love that. You know, Steve Rogers in the late 70s actually got a job at Marvel Comics drawing comics in his civilian life from being Captain America. Look at that. So they're okay. The Skrulls are going to leave. They say, "Unmask, let's leave." And Reed says, "No, we must stay behind and remove all evidence of our presence here on Earth. We shall sacrifice ourselves so that you will be safe. Never in our history has there been so noble a deed. Take this highest award of your bravery." Oh, it's a medal with the picture of Saturn. So they take the water tower back down to Earth. They're going to pass back through that radiation belt that turned them into the Fantastic Four in the first place. What's going to happen? Oh my God, it turns the thing back into Ben! Now you can own and operate your own scale electric monorail. Or get 14 new sensational tricks. 1,000,000 laughs. Oh look, a pinup. I wonder if there'd ever been a pinup before. Oh, that's a lot of ads. The Fantastic Four captured. Oh, the cops got him. Oh, that's right. You don't have the Skrulls. How are you going to talk your way out of this? Oh, no. Ben is turning back into the thing. Boy, that looked awesome. Very sad. Aww. Okay, so instead of taking the Fantastic Four into jail, they take them back to their apartment hideout where they're attacked by a giant snake, a spike creature, and a small bird. Oh, it's the Skrulls. Of course, they were tied up in the apartment. I think Reed convinced them to go back to the apartment. So there we go. It's only 3 of them, though. Huh. The 4th one is on his way to another galaxy, so he let him go. I didn't see him let him go. Well, at any rate, he's going to go ahead and let the Skrulls know that it was all a ruse. I think we're going to see the Skrulls return. But what do you do with the Skrulls that you have? Okay, so Reed hypnotizes the Skrulls into turning into cows and forgetting they were ever Skrulls. Wow. All right, so I've got an update on this. There's apparently a comic called The Lost Generation, issue 11, I believe, and it tells about a previous meeting between Reed and the Skrulls. It, of course, would be a much more modern comic. Now, The Avengers, issue 66, which, of course, would come out a few years after this, tells the story of the 4th Skrull that escaped. Well, I got to read that one. And these Skrull cows, their story is told in Fantastic Four Annual number 17 and The Avengers issues 89 through 97. Something else I gotta read. So let's see here. Test your talent. Oh, so they want some artists. What else do we have? Sell more stuff. Learn electronics. And, announcing the all-new Daisy Bob gun. I like that Western illustration. Very nice. And the new Jumbo Bob tube. Let's all dance around it. Okay, so I did this for issue 1. I'm going to do it for issue 2. When this comic came out, there were other Marvel comics that came out as well. Tales to Astonish, issue 27, a monster book, but it had the first appearance of Hank Pym, who, just like inside the pages here where Sue Storm, well, the Skrull impersonating her, shrunk down to the size of an ant, that's what Hank Pym does. He shrinks down to the size of an ant. It would be 8 issues later of Tales to Astonish where he actually becomes the superhero Ant-Man with a costume. Okay, also on the day of the release of this, Amazing Adult Fantasy issue 8. Another monster book, but 7 issues later, in the final issue, 15, first appearance of Spider-Man. We also had Journey into Mystery issue 75, another monster book. Thor would make his debut 8 issues later. And then Strange Tales issue 92, another monster book. The Human Torch would start getting his own solo adventure stories 10 issues later. And 8 issues after that, Doctor Strange would make his debut. And we had one more monster book, Tales of Suspense issue 25. 14 issues later, Iron Man would make his debut in that comic. Then we also had Linda Carter, Student Nurse, issue 3, a romance comic. Kathy, issue 14, a romance comic. Life with Millie, issue 14, a romance comic. Patsy Walker, issue 98, a romance comic. Kid Colt Outlaw, issue 102, a western. And Millie the Model, issue 106. Another romance comic. Now here's something interesting. There were no Marvel comics released since 3 weeks before this issue and nothing again till 5 weeks later. So there was a huge gap of nothing from Marvel. Practically a 2-month gap with just these comics I mentioned popping all out in the same day, September 28th, 1961. Until next time.